Good evening, guys, and welcome back to another round of Thank You Line Esports here. It's still the first round of the Winter Major Rankings 1, and it's the second day of the first round. Only one real game today happening. We saw some other games, but they did not were played, or people did not were showing up. So this is why we have only one stream today, but it's still a very interesting game. It's SHVEC.My.QUEEN with his team versus Kung Fu, and these team names will not say you probably a lot, but the players on them are definitely players that have played Thank You Online Esports before. Before we are going over the teams, my name is Renka, I will be your commentator for tonight, and I am joined here by KTR Broadcaster, and he will give you the best insights of the battlefield. We are playing with SHVEC.My.QUEEN, and he has on his side playing Dead Ruvan. Let's just keep it at Ruvan, because the rest I don't know how to pronounce. SHVEC.My.QUEEN himself, Pink, and jeez, you're giving me a hard time with those names. I don't know how you pronounce that, to be honest. The Paladin player. Hopefully someone knows. And on the other side we have Kung Fu playing with Arceus, June, Kawasaki, Jeez, and Swear. So the first round will be played on Iran, second round as well, of course. After that, we will be moving over to Sandbox, so two very interesting maps to be playing today. I have to say, the teams are starting fairly calmly. We have not seen any push attempts being made so far. Although maybe Dune can change that here, he's pulling this flag. Maybe being able to get out of the base, but a good defense here from the team of SHVEC.My.QUEEN. The team had another name when I started this match, but they changed names. I think the Twitch title still has the old team name. But the late team name change, it is very clear who's the leader of the team now, so that's easy to remember. But I don't know. It's he's playing Viking as well, so he created his own team, I guess. SHVEC.MY.QUEEN playing on a lot of teams before, pretty well known in the community. I think he played on Metamorphosis last major rankings, and if I remember correctly, they reached not the champion stage, but the legend stage. I'm going to check now because I want to be sure that what I'm saying is correct. Legend stage. Yeah, Metamorphosis reaching the legend stage, so they started in the legend stage as well. And now creating his own team. Kung Fu right now pulling with June. Pretty interesting pull attempt here. It looks like it will get into a standoff situation here, to be honest, because we can see the paladin of the blue team also pulling this flag, and this can be quite a tricky standoff to win. We still have 6 minutes on the clock, so there's time enough even if you fail to win this standoff here. But it's definitely a tricky situation, especially for SHVEC.MY.QUEEN there, with a lot of players trying to get a return, but they managed to stay alive. Now it's the best for still the better side for Kung Fu, I have to say. They're playing very offensive here, having the flag carrier also engage in this fight for the return. It's a bit risky, but it's working out for them. Oh, D-Box dropping at the same time. Still no captures being made here today. It's quite an interesting game. We can see Kawasaki catching that overdrive. I'm going to butcher so many names today. I'm sorry. I hope they take my apology. And also apologies to you guys. I will be back in 15 seconds. But it was a bit less than 15 seconds even. But just in time to see this attempt, it would have been a great attempt by Kung Fu there if Jeez didn't butcher his OD. He hit his own teammate, but that did not work out. It's still Kung Fu with one flag in the lead, so they are in the driver's seat to a first round point. But they made it a bit easier for My.QUEEN to come back. Well, let's see what they are capable of here. It is pink, it's SHVEC.MY.QUEEN on the left side of the blue base, trying to create opportunities. But so far it is not really working out. We see pink with an OD box overdrive being ready. Same for the paladin of My.QUEEN side and the hunter player Ruven as well. On the other side we see Swear with a paladin overdrive, or an Ares overdrive, sorry. Paladin OD for My.QUEEN being used here. Swear trying to create a use and take scenario, but it's My.QUEEN, SHVEC.MY.QUEEN taking that overdrive box in a really aggressive and offensive way. This is a good situation for My.QUEEN to be in. They have more overdrives than the opposing team, but they need it as well because they need to get a flag to create the tie score here. Yeah, is that what the username of the paladin player means, Yarakov? That is a pretty terrible username, not going to lie. Doesn't sound that friendly. Always nice to have some people in the chat that know the Russian language well. This game, of course, having so many Russian players, and that makes it sometimes pretty difficult for Ian here to understand what's going on. I try my best, especially with pronunciation, but it's so different than English speaking languages, so that that makes it difficult sometimes. But a really interesting language, especially if you see them using their language on the non the Cyrillic alphabet, but just the Roman alphabet or Greek, I don't know, just the normal alphabet. So it is definitely even harder to translate for me. O2 for Kung Fu here, catching a second flag somewhere. I didn't notice that capture, but it was a pretty smooth one. Otherwise, I would have noticed that one. And it's Kung Fu really um, getting there, to be honest. Really nice scoreline for them. O2, 2 minutes to go. Very close to a victory, to be honest. Pink here using an overdrive here to support his flag carrier choosing to go to the outside instead of going towards the OD from Pink. So that is not maybe the best choice. Still, that can continue this pool. My Queen can take over SHVEC.My.QUEEN if needed. Hunter player Raven in a good position to use an OD for defense if needed. So it looks pretty safe here for My Queen. They need this capture quick and they cannot really use what Kawasaki is doing here with an amazing Viking OD and a triple kill. He is getting that return at the same time we see G's counter pulling. And G is the right reaction to what we are seeing here, to be honest, because it's 3-0 right now with an amazing return from Kung Fu at the same time creating an attack. Kawasaki really reading the situation well there with an Viking OD. Oh, essentially clear. We didn't stream that one, so I have to say, I don't know. But to be honest, if I see the lineup from Los Hermanos and the lineup from Cuties, I think Cuties would have definitely won that one. But let me check actually. Is there already a score? Yeah, it's 0-3 from Cuties. So the match is played. Otherwise, it would have been 0-4 or 0-1. But it was an easy win for Cuties. But that is, to be honest, most obvious outcome. Cuties have a very interesting lineup, and yeah, that can be one of the winners of Prism here. Or is it Prism we are fighting for? Mate, I really should know the paint by now, to be honest. I'm doing this for 3 years. But it's Kung Fu with a nice first round win for them. 0-3 is the score. Second round of Iran will not face any issues for them as well, probably, because I have to say, Dolce Gabbana, SHVEC.My.QUEEN, has not really come close to capture. We saw one opportunity where they pulled the flag really nicely, but at the same time, Kung Fu was pulling the flag as well, so it only created a standoff. I have to say, Kung Fu is really in the driver's seat here. They are really in control, and My Queen will have a very difficult task of winning this round. No, we didn't. We didn't live stream it. Essentially, the Russian stream as well did not stream it because, to be honest, I thought the match would not continue. But apparently, they still played. But it sounds like a walk in the park for Cuties, to be honest. But no, they did show up. They did show up. But I think me and the Russian side of the live stream team both thought that they wouldn't show up because that was what I thought. I was wrong. Sorry, guys. We still have this game though. Kung Fu versus Team SHVEC.My.QUEEN, and this is going to be a really interesting game. Second round continuing here, and that's always a struggle, to be honest. when there is a new tournament after a summer break, everyone switches teams. Even more than between just major rankings, like they are really switching teams up. So it's always a bit scary to stream games of teams that never played a match before, because it's difficult to switch games last minute. Like it doesn't seem difficult, but it costs some work. So you cannot do that 1 minute before. You will always start with a delay if you have to change games. So it's difficult to predict with those newer teams sometimes. That's just a story. Exactly, Yarakov. Exactly, especially because like they didn't have profile pictures on the Tanky Sport website. One guy was already 600 days in the team but did not play a game. Like I have to say that it seemed like just one of, I don't know. It seemed like a team that wouldn't show up. Let's keep it at that. But I was wrong. But nevertheless, I think we did not really miss an interesting round because Cuties is a banger team here, one of the favorites in this tournament. And those were all players I did not know. So yeah, I don't want to talk them down because everyone has to start their esport journey somewhere. But I think Cuties have blown them out of the park. A 3-0 victory. That's what the Tanky Sport website says. And flag captures are not known, but they are definitely not on a low amount. Yeah, Yarakov, you have checked it as well, but no, that did not look like an interesting game because I did not thought we had a game even. But for the second round, maybe you know it's a playing team. Like we also had Vega versus top strikers as well, and that crossover is not finished, so one of the teams did not show up. Like that's a shame because that could have been an interesting game last hour. Um, but it's always a bit tricky with the start of a new season, which teams are really serious and which teams aren't. And to be honest, this game was a bit scary as well. But Kung Fu and SHVEC.MY.QUEEN both have some esport enthusiast in them, like SHVEC.MY.QUEEN. He called a team. He called the team his own name, so that shows how passionate he is about his team. I guess he will definitely show up. On the other side, we can see Swear, pretty well-known player, also Dolce Gabbana, played a lot of games. So, but the all those team switching, it's just hard to keep up with that, to be honest. Kung Fu here once again getting the first capture. So far, they are also the only team that captured the flag. SHVEC.MY.QUEEN still has to capture at least one flag here into the whole game. So it's Kung Fu still under full control here. And it's impulse paint. I said prism paint, I guess. I don't know. I said prism paint, but it's impulse paint, of course, for the RMR1. You guys know that, but bro, I have to say it's very difficult for me to get interested in paint. So that's why I forgot every season. Still, it's a paint where a lot of people file for, and if you don't care about paint, just like me, you also get loads of tank coins or rubies and containers, premium days, and of course the most important, points for the summer major or winter major. So loads of rewards to play for here. Overdrive box dropping. And there will be June taking that one, although I spoke a bit too soon because Swear with a massive OD clearing down the base, still his teammate not be able to pick up that overdrive box, and it's my queen with the most risky use and take I've seen in this season. It's only the third game of the season, but still. But he managed to make it work, use and take. Although in that scenario, I would have just took the OD because with the usage, he did not really get anything, and he created risk for himself there. So it's like you have no benefit and you have more risks with using your OD there. He was better off just picking up that overdrive box without using his OD, um, at least in my opinion. Yeah, true, Yarakov, but I think um, 4 is the more usable. 1-0 is when like Tanky Sport confirms the technical defeat, like with empty slots. 4-0 is the most usable, and because the crossout of the maps is finished, I really think that the match has been played. Otherwise, you see empty slots with the crossout. But of course, we can't be completely sure. But 99% sure, maybe, because that crossout is finished. Like, what's the matter? Why bother finishing the crossout when you're not playing? But it's already the last game of the first round here in the Winter Major rankings, and we can see Kung Fu here using a nice OD swear, knocking down two players, supporting his teammate, and creating opportunities here for jeez, Kawasaki to pull his flag. He has some problems with driving around the trees though, and that gives Team SHVEC.MY.QUEEN a lot of opportunity to return. Ruven can even use an OD on two people here, choosing to save, I don't know for when, because now it's a really tricky situation for SHVEC.MY.QUEEN to come back from. They have to manage to return here. That is probably the only one that can return. He's going to pull the flag, trying to buy time here from SHVEC.MY.QUEEN, but this will be a return by Jeez, and a capture by Arceus that was easily preventable with just one Hunter OD. Yeah, insane play to be honest. SHVEC.MY.QUEEN now it's close to impossible to bounce back from this. A tie maybe is possible, but they have not captured the flag all game long. So yeah, I really don't understand that play. Like I don't understand it. Let's take a look here. OD box is dropping. My queen has to take this OD box if he wants to make a small chance here even of getting it to a win, but the small chance of getting it to a tie or getting it to a tie is already a small chance here. G is using an OD on pink, knocking down pink here. Yeah, Kung Fu really close to the victory, but a Viking overdrive from my queen can spice the last 3 minutes of this game up a little bit. Well, let's see what he is creating here. That's a bit like my esport carrier Yarakov. Wait, made one move and walked away. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's Kung Fu getting his third capture here right now, and with that capture, they have been crowned victory of this round and victory of this map as well. 2 victories in a row on Iran, and they only need one more on Sandbox or get 2 ties, whatever they want. or get one tie is even enough. So Kung Fu really close to that victory in the first round. There we go, a 3-0 score in that second round, just like in the first round. And with that score, we'll be moving over to Sandbox here. And it's looking like a 3-round game here. We still have not seen any captures by Team SHVEC.My.QUEEN. And that is a bit disappointing with those names in the team. Um, Maybe they get a capture on Sandbox. That would definitely be needed for a team like that. With so much filler teams in a format right now, um, you should you should not be losing games. I don't know. I don't want to be how do you say that, negative towards their performance, but it's definitely lacking. Right now we are moving over to that sandbox map. It will not be long then, probably just a minute. Yeah, Yarikov, that isn't a great look. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. After a big prize pool like we saw in the major, I hoped for a bit more success for the ranking stages. Um, because money attracts people. That's just how it works. But the amount of teams and the amount of teams that actually are playing this armor is just a bit lacking, and that's a shame. Um, but at the other side, we know a lot of top players that aren't playing right now, and they are definitely not quitting esports. I think no team at the moment feels the need to play all three RMRs. Definitely, where you're not absolute trash, you would just play one RMR and get into legend stage, or maybe two if you want to be safe. And because people know that it's not needed to play all three. Um, we just see people care a lot less about RMRs, and especially the first one. So I hope it will be better at the end of this year. But no, I didn't expect it, to be honest. I expect quite a bit of new people being attracted to esports, because the stream got I don't know. It was such a nice season last season. Um, but yeah, it's still a long route to the major, and I think the rankings Like the goal of the rankings was to qualify for the major, and the goal of the rankings right now is just play a game, and you're already qualified for the major. So the goal of rankings is not really there anymore. Besides getting a paint, so every team that is not able to get paints, it just need to not really motivated to play for this anymore. It's like it's it's TKVs, but then official. So that's a shame, and I don't know what should change. But the Armor One, it's not a success. Like we still can have some high quality gameplay and fun, and it will still fun. Will still be great fun to broadcast, and I'm really glad for all you guys joining in. That's great fun. Like in general, I really mean that. But the point of the RMRs is to filter the teams that can qualify for the major, and that point is not needed anymore. So I don't know what to do, to be honest. Luckily, I don't have to decide. Um, but that's just the case how it is right now, and it will still be a great fight for a lot of rewards, not only the paint, but way more rewards and TMR points. So let's just enjoy it. Yeah, the break could be a bit longer, but you had a few days to apply. But what I said is not needed to apply to every RMR tournament. So there are loads of teams that are just checking out rosters, a lot of players that aren't in a team right now, and just try to get to the best team for them possible. Like RMR One here, it's still such a long route to the major, and with the amount of switches we can see on players, like they really love transferring teams. Um, the points you are building right now are probably not ever able to get to the major because people will switch teams, the points will be gone. It's so long until the major, and I think RMR One especially has just gone a bit pointless. Besides getting Prism, of course, and getting the rewards, because if you switch teams, you will throw away your points, and if you're not certain which team you will be playing, you will definitely switch team in the 4 to 5 months. It will be until we play the major. So fully understandable. It's just a bit of shame because the more people, the more fun. That's how I think about it. But it's fully understandable by player side of view. Overdrive box dropping here. It is Archon pulling that first flag already for Kung Fu, and it's a new map but the same playing style for Kung Fu. It's aggressive, it's smooth, and it's an early capture. And once again, they are the team that starts in the lead. My queen here with a, how do you say that in clean English, family friendly? Desperate. That was the word I was searching for. A very desperate Viking overdrive. It will never succeed, and you now have no Viking overdrive available anymore. So a desperate play, in my opinion. But SHVEC.MY.QUEEN, that team, once again starting with a disadvantage, with a one flag, a deficit here, and they need to win this round. And that's, to be honest, a very big task for them. I don't want to say unlikely because that sounds unmotivating, but they haven't captured the flag all game long, so it's definitely a big task for them. If they don't change teammates, I see that's very likely, Yarikov. There's no team that can beat them right now. Um, so if they will stick together, I really see that happening. To be honest, um, it will be good for, like, it will not be good for the opposing teams, but it has been a while since we saw a group and a lineup staying together for a roster. I wanted to say staying together for like 2 or 3 seasons. Like people love changing teams so much in tanky esports, and it's not helping you, I guess. Like if you feel like the team is not putting in the effort, of course switch teams. Like if you always want the best for yourself, but all that switching of teams, I don't know. It's hard for me to think which advantage that gives you. But I have not played in a team, so I don't know a lot about it. And the fun is the most important, of course. And if you have no fun in your team you're currently in, then you should definitely switch. It's Kung Fu here, 3-0 already, so they will be winning this round. We still have 7 minutes on the clock, but I'm calling it right now. And it will be 7 minutes of waiting, of pain, and of people to still be able to finish the drops here. 7 minutes before this game will be over. And it wasn't a boring game, but it was a one-sided game, and Kung Fu played better than I expected, to be honest. And yeah, curious what they can show us in the second round. Curious about the lineups we will be seeing as well, with all those new teams and not showing up teams. It will be, yeah, pretty luck based which teams you are facing. You can end pretty high on this RMR without actually playing a lot of games or without even being good, you know. So pretty much quite a bit of luck will be involved in which teams will be facing each other. So that will be interesting, especially when the eliminations come in at round 4, 5, and 6. Still 5 minutes to go in this battle. It seems like Kung Fu is not really feeling the pressure in this standoff because they are really busy with frustrating each other and not really busy with returning the flag. You can see in how the teams are playing that the game has been played, to be honest. And while we are here waiting for this battle to end, because that's pretty much what we are doing right now, let's get over to the scores here a bit and see if there are some interesting scores. I'm going to skip the no show wins because they don't matter too much, to be honest. Like there's no team promoting from it, also no team being eliminated, and it doesn't show how good teams are as well. So just the decisive scores we saw: White Towers versus 404 not found. 404 not found. Quite an interesting team. It was an 0-3 score win for them. They got some old players from all kind of Pepega. I see old players from Pepega. A very interesting team to check out. We saw Help versus Millennium, both teams. I don't really know that much, but it's one for Help, two for Millennium, a 1-2 win for them. Metamorphosis versus Lovesick was an 0-3 win for Lovesick as expected. Sprite versus Skyforce. Skyforce is also, we streamed that game yesterday, pretty interesting team. And an 0-3 win for them. And Band Organization versus Breakout. Breakout, the team with the Russian content creator Big Tanks on. 1-2 win for them. And today we saw the game of Los Hermanos versus Cuties. I think that game has been played, but we are not fully sure. But Cuties, of course, won that one. And currently we're watching the last game of the first round here. Kung Fu versus SHVEC.My.QUEEN. And in 3 minutes time, Kung Fu will win this game. So besides Band Organization versus Breakout, that was a really interesting game, but the other games have been quite one-sided and no unexpected results. I have to say, no big surprises here. It's only the first round, so we have time enough to create surprises. But a calm start after the summer break, and I'm quite curious what the second round will be given us here today. And to be honest, I care most about the fourth round that will be coming up here because the fight for paint will definitely be interesting. The most important teams can do is not facing Lovestick in round 4, but there's not a lot you can do about that. Lovestick Cuties lineup will be a battle for paint. I hope for Cuties probably doesn't, but that sounds like quite an interesting game. And yeah, let's see. Let's see. Lots of teams we have not seen yet here in the first round because of the empty slots. So the second round will be a surprise, just like the first round. And that will be played on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. To be honest, I can't wait. I can't wait because I think in the second round we will have seen every team, and we can finally see the level of each team as well. So that will be quite interesting, at least for me that wants to choose the most interesting games, of course. And SHVEC.MY.QUEEN will get a first capture here after 3 rounds of playtime. So they can say they captured a flag at least. Maybe even get a second flag. No, Arceus, he is a kind guy by giving the first capture, but Kung Fu not planning to give a second capture away here. But that was pretty much it for most guys today. I want to thank you all for tuning in, watching this game, and for your continued support, even in the new season here. Thank you for that. That's amazing. I want to thank Katie for broadcasting this game, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday and Wednesday for the second round of the Winter Major Rankings 1. Have a great rest of your evening, and good night.